Welcome everyone to Scientific Study Spotlight. I'm Dylan, joined by my co-host Dan, and today we're going to be talking about a drug everyone's been raving about, Ozempic. It's commonly used to treat diabetes, but has been making headlines lately as a potential weight loss treatment. And today, more specifically, we're going to be delving into this study shown here, published by the New England Journal of Medicine. So let's take a look at this paper under the spotlight. Before we delve into the article, let's briefly introduce Ozempic and the body's natural mechanisms for regulating blood sugar. So Ozempic is a medication commonly prescribed to help manage type 2 diabetes. Its active ingredient is semaglutide, which belongs to a drug class called GLP-1 agonists. To understand how Ozempic works, let's first talk about how our body normally would regulate blood sugar. So after a meal, the food we consume is broken down into glucose, which is a sugar, and it'll enter the bloodstream. In response to that, our pancreas is going to release a hormone called insulin, which helps transport glucose from the bloodstream into our cells, where it's then used for energy. GLP-1 is a naturally occurring hormone that plays a vital role in this blood sugar regulation pathway. So it's released by special cells in our intestines called epithelial endocrine L cells. In the fasting state, GLP-1 levels are extremely low. So once it's stimulated by food intake, L cells will begin producing GLP-1 and it'll diffuse into the bloodstream. Once it's entered our circulatory system, GLP-1 is going to stimulate the pancreas to release insulin. This then reduces glucagon, which is a hormone that will raise your blood sugar, and it also slows down the emptying of the stomach, leading to a feeling of satiety or a feeling of fullness. Now let's discuss how Ozempic specifically works. So when Ozempic is injected, semaglutide mimics the actions of GLP-1. It'll bind to GLP-1 receptors in various cells, such as pancreatic beta cells, slowing down the release of glucagon and stimulating the release of insulin. This again results in a lower blood sugar level and improved glucose control. Now Dan's going to talk about the study being done on Ozempic.
In this study, titled Once Weekly Semaglutide in Adults with Overweight or Obesity, the researchers wanted to see if adults with obesity can achieve weight loss with once weekly semaglutide at a dose of 2.4 milligrams as an adjunct to lifestyle. 1,961 overweight adults were enrolled in this study. This was a double-blind study, so neither the participants nor the researchers knew which treatment participants were receiving until the trial was over. For 68 weeks, the participants either received the once-weekly semaglutide injection or placebo. All participants, whether given placebo or semaglutide, were accompanied with lifestyle intervention. The lifestyle intervention included counseling, diet, and physical activity. By week 68 of the study, the mean weight of the group who received semaglutide declined by 14.9% compared to only 2.4% for the placebo group. Furthermore, more participants in the semaglutide group than in the placebo group had a weight loss of greater than 5%, 86.4% in the semaglutide group compared to 31.5% in the placebo group. It is also important to note that gastrointestinal issues associated with taking semaglutide resulted in treatment discontinuation in 7% of the semaglutide group. So does Ozempic work for weight loss? The short answer is yes. Is it a miracle drug? Probably not. We know that when you take Ozempic, it activates the GLP-1 receptors in your body, which has several effects. Firstly, it slows down the emptying of your stomach, which means you feel fuller for longer after a meal. This can help reduce overeating and control portion sizes. Secondly, Ozempic reduces the release of a hormone called glucagon, which normally signals the liver to produce more glucose. By suppressing glucagon, Ozempic helps lower blood sugar levels and reduces the amount of glucose that gets stored as fat. Now, let's connect the dots between Ozempic and the concept of a calorie deficit. Weight loss occurs when we consume fewer calories than we burn. This creates a calorie deficit and our bodies start using stored fat for energy. Ozempic can be a helpful tool in achieving and maintaining a calorie deficit. By helping us feel full, reducing overeating, and controlling blood sugar levels, Ozempic can make it easier for us to stick to a reduced calorie diet. In this study, the researchers did not mention if the calories consumed and burned were equated or not. So ultimately, we have to attribute the weight loss seen in the group receiving semaglutide to simply just eating less, thus putting themselves in a greater calorie deficit. Can you still gain weight when taking semaglutide? Absolutely. People eat for a variety of reasons besides feeling hungry. People eat because they are stressed, bored, or for social reasons like grabbing dinner with friends or family. With or without semaglutide, a calorie deficit is required to lose weight. So if you eat high-calorie foods, weight loss will be difficult no matter what. It's important to remember that weight loss is a complex process and individual results may vary, but incorporating Ozempic into a healthy lifestyle that includes a calorie deficit can be a powerful combination.
So that wraps up our discussion of Ozempic for today. This month of July, we're going to be focusing on weight loss. So check back on July 17th for episode 2, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to our channel for more informative content. If you have any suggestions on any topics you'd like us to cover next, leave a comment below. As always, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dan.
And thanks for watching. See you next time.